Okay, video 14, this is going to be very similar to video 13, but it's going to be once again creating shapes by modification. In video number 13, we took a contactor and we remodified that down into a manual starter, and from there you've got, umpteen million different types of components, overload components that you can put on there for reversing auxiliary contacts that you're going to want to build for the side blocks. You name it, there's going to be a load of stuff out there available for you to do with that motor control section. Right now, we're going to go back into our Decora devices, and we're going to go and work on a Decora Switch, but we're going to base that all working off of our Decora Receptacle. So I'm going to go and load up Visio over here, and then what we're going to go and do is we are going to go and work our way through from our Decora Receptacle that we've created back down into a Decora Switch. Now, we don't really need a reference diagram for this. Everybody has seen 1,000,001 Decora Switches, and honestly, we're going to leave most of our background components the same inside of here. First thing we're going to do, though, is we need to break this component that we dragged into the sheet apart. Once again, remember, once we've got a component dragged onto the sheet, we can break it apart, we can modify it, change colors, properties, and things like that, and it doesn't affect the main component that still stays inside of here. So we're going to do that. We're going to hit ungroup. When we do that, it gives us that warning saying, hey, this is a base shape, and if you want to break it apart further, it's no longer going to act as a contiguous shape. Are you cool with that? And we are cool with that because it's only this one on the picture that we're breaking apart. What we see has happened now is that it's broken apart into a couple of main components, and what we're really after is only that one over there. The screws, we will use some of those. These ones over here, the prongs, we don't need those. We'll take care of those, get rid of them. But the body itself is what we are looking for. We're going to ungroup this body one more time, and that's going to take us down to the point where we've got this, the ears that are in the back there, and this over here, which is going to be the main plastic body, broken down. And now we're going to do a offset. We covered this in a previous one. Offset is just going to allow us to get a line that's going to be perfectly offset all the way around the inside of this one. 1.5 mil is probably going to look good for what we have over here. Yeah, look at that, eh? Happy days. We have hit the offset tool. What it is, it selects our original line, and then it gave us 1.5 mils to the inside and 1.5 mils to the outside. We'll delete this outside one. We really don't want that one over there. Now we've got this inside shape. The inside shape has got no fill to it. Honestly, it's got no properties other than that it's a line offset we did, but it's beautiful because the corners are rounded down inside of there. What we're going to do is we're going to go and draw a line across, roughly across the middle. I don't really care, how close you are to the middle, as long as you start on one line, end on the other line, that's fine. Then we're going to go back, we're going to select this shape, and then we're going to hold down Control, and we're going to select that shape, and we're going to just do a line to middle. And that's going to bring our line that's going to be, representing that little paddle part on our switch right to the very middle of it. If you did want to make it a little bit more realistic, you could add, maybe a thicker line on this outside over here. So we'll up our weight. Right now it's the default 3/4 weight. We'll go and maybe make it like 1.25 inches or something like that. Inch and a half, or something like that. And then we've got this switch that now appears to have that center line from there. It's close enough that honestly, I'm not going to throw rocks at any drawing that's going to look like that. Good enough. We're going to grab that. We're going to go and group it together over there. Then we're going to take this group of screws that we had over here. We're going to ungroup that. And then we're going to go and place those screws behind our device. Because it's a switch, we're going to place them on the right-hand side. We can then go and take them. Once again, it doesn't matter if they're not aligned perfectly right away. Let's say that I had one off here and one off there. What I can do is I can just grab one of them, select that one maybe, and this one. And we can go and align the right-hand side. So now those screws are perfectly aligned. The other thing that you can do is if they're not quite perfectly aligned on the switch, I'll move this one up a little bit so you can see. See how that one's closer to the top, that one's further from the bottom. We've aligned these two vertically. What we can do then is grab them. So we'll just capture them. We're going to group them. And then what we'll do is we'll just select our switch body. And then we'll select these, and because the switch body was selected first, the master, we are then going to go hit an align middle, and boom, it sends them down to the middle. Now, because we grouped them, they came to the front, we'll just go and send them to the back like that. And once we've done that, we've now got a switch. This is the standard single pole switch. If you wanted to create a 3-way or 4-way, all you would have to do is grab this group, Control-C, Control-V, duplicate it. You can then hit a rotate, flip horizontal, drag it across, place it on the other side of your switch over there. And then you can send it to the back. So now we've got 4 screws off of there. Then what you would want to do is ungroup both of these over here. And then just do some fill. Make these two black if it's going to be your 4-way switch, and then leave these two brass. Or, if you're going to do a 3-way switch, just delete one, make one of these black, make the other two brass, or however you want. It's super simple to do once you get that far. We're going to leave it with a single pole here right now. So I've got all of this together. What I'm going to do is select it all right now. I'm going to hit ungroup all the way down. Keep hitting until this thing grays out. That tells you you're ungrouped as far as you can. Then I'm going to hit group. And now the last thing we need to do before we take it back in and save it inside here is we need to drop those connection points onto it once again. If you want, go ahead, throw a bond screw on it. Not all switches come with a bond screw. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. If you put it on there, then you're always going to get questions about why are you not, putting the bond on there, or maybe you just make one shape that has the screw, one that doesn't. All right, back to this though. We've got this group selected. We're then going to go and hit connection points, and we're just going to drill in till we see the screw. We're going to roll down the sheet till we see, and then we can go and hold our control zoom out. We see we've got 2 connection points that are placed on there. We've now got a single pole switch. This has been all of 6 minutes so far with the explanations. Take the stencil. It says it's read-only. It's talking about that this stencil shape over here is read-only. Do we want to modify it by adding a shape? Absolutely we do. So we say yes. It drops in there, and we are going to go and call that 1P switch. Once again, label it because you will have trouble seeing the size once you get lots of these in there of these components. Now we've got a receptacle and a switch inside there. We just hit save. We're done. Now we have got an unlimited number of switches that we can just keep dragging in from anywhere we want. We've also got your receptacles. You've got your wire ends. You're set for making some very basic wiring devices.